Hello everyone, Mr. Garino here, going to finish off our shooter game. We have a really nice game working with all the different aspects, including the start button. We have replay buttons, we have screens for showing that we won and that we lost. The one thing we're missing is any type of audio. Having a nice song playing in the background, maybe some sort of gunshot when you're clicking, a different song that plays for the win screen and the lose screen. All these things are things we can do, and if you don't have any sound in a game, it really kind of draws away from it. Think of any video game you play; they all have sound. I mean, even the silly video games from the 80s like Asteroids and Pac-Man and Space Invaders. Simple sounds, but they had sound. So let's add sound to our game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the actions layer on the main timeline, and I accidentally pressed F9, which paused my recording. Again, I can't do that, so I'm going to go to long way actions, and I'm going to open up this so you can see it better. And actually, before I do that, or even while I have it open, I have to import my sounds. So I'm going to go to import to library, and I got 4 sounds I want. I got the Spider-Man theme song, the SpongeBob theme song, laser shot, and the song Radioactive. So I'm going to import them all at once to the library. And you can see here I have 1, 2, 3, 4. And to use them, you always have to export them for ActionScript. So I'm going to do that for each one right now. So Properties, ActionScript, Export. And you want to make it something simple. So if you get some song from YouTube or whatever and it's a real long name with parentheses and dashes and stuff in it, make it something simple. And if it's got the file name, the dot, or the extension, the .mp3 on it, take that out. So I'm just naming it Radioactive with a capital R. Class names have capitals, letters to begin with. And then this sci-fi laser shot, I'm going to export that as well, but I'm just going to call it laser. So again, something simple, one word that's meaningful instead of sound or song. Give it a meaningful name, but make it also something simple. And then for Spider-Man, I'll take out the MP3, but I'm going to change the lowercase s to a capital S. In this box, I could say don't show again, but I like it to come up in the videos because for people doing this for the first time, they'll probably get this message, and if it doesn't show in my video, then they're like, oh, why'd I get this message? So you can see it's a standard message, and I choose not to check that off just so that it shows all the time. And then properties again for SpongeBob. Again, ActionScript, export, take out the .mp3, put in the capital S, and this is just your standard convention. You could do it other ways, but why not follow the way everybody else does? So it looks like I spelled everything right. So now the first thing I have to do is, if we're just going to play a sound that just plays and we don't want to control it in any way, we shouldn't have to import this thing I'm going to import called the sound channel. But we're going to use the sound channel in such a way so that we can stop one song and start another, so we have to import its functionality. So it's import flash dot media dot, and then sound channel is with a capital S and a capital C, and then the semicolon. And then down here I'm going to declare a new variable. I'm going to call it, now this is a simple way to play something. I'm going to say variable laser with a lowercase l is equal to, what type of variable is it? It's a sound variable, not a sound channel, just a sound. So this is the simple way, but it doesn't give you a lot of control. And notice just by hitting space it imported this flash media sound. You should have that there as well. I don't believe it's absolutely necessary, but Flash likes to have it there, so I'm going to say, okay, fine, leave it there. Okay, so variable laser, it's a sound type variable, and it's equal to a new instance of my laser class, which I just exported for ActionScript. I'm going to open close parentheses and close the semicolon. So that's going to give me my gunshot every time I click. Um, to get that to happen every time we click, or every time I click, or we click, whatever, we have to add something, functionality, in the initialize game function. See right here where we say stage, add event listener, mouse event, mouse move, drag the cursor, and then below that we have a function called drag cursor, and that's what makes the cursor move around when we move our mouse. Well, we need to add something to the stage, and I'll tell you right now, not to the stage, but let's do it to the stage first just to illustrate. In fact, rather than type, I'm just going to copy this whole thing right here. Just be careful when you copy that you remember to change what you need to change. So I'm adding an event listener to the stage. It's a mouse event, but it's not going to be moving the mouse. It's going to be clicking the mouse. So I'm just going to all caps the word click, and then the function we're going to run, and I'm taking off the caps because I'm going to use lowercase. The function we're going to use, or name, is going to be called shot. So you took a shot. Okay, now I need to define that function. So again, rather than type all this out, I'm just going to copy it. This function right here is going to be similar because I'm going to have a function and it's going to be event and it's going to be a mouse event, and then I'll delete that stuff and change it. So let me just give myself a couple enters here, paste that in. Okay, so now I got two drag cursor functions. I got to change one of them. So I'm going to change this one from drag cursor to shot just to save time in typing. It is an event. It receives a mouse event, but instead of these cursor things, I'm going to delete those. And all I have to say is laser dot play, and then it's going to play that laser sound. Open close parentheses with a semicolon. Now the reason why I said we don't really want the stage here, you're going to see what I mean by that in a second. So let me save this. I'm going to do save as, and I'm going to give it, well, I got one open with the D because I know it works in case I mess something up. So instead of going from C to D, I'm just going to let me go to C. C part 1. I don't know, just a different name. Okay, so now when I play it, you're going to hear my gunshot. But you hear my gunshot when I click on start. And you hear it when I click on replay. So I don't think you want to hear it then. Okay, I missed that one. So see, if you click on the monster, sometimes depending on whether the stage hears it or not, you may or may not hear the gunshot sound. So rather than say stage, let's say background, so that whenever we click on the background, we get a sound. We hear the sound. And if you remember, let's close this out. This background right here, I believe in the very beginning of the game, we gave it an instance name in case we ever wanted to control it through ActionScript. And we've never used it yet, but now we are. So right here, the instance name of this background movie clip is BG_MC. So let's go back to our actions, and instead of stage with the shot, we're going to say BG_MC. So now if we run it, and always good when you change code, resave your game, because if that BG crashes because I spelled something wrong and the whole game gets corrupted, then I got to go back to where I was before. So save, then play it. Notice now on the start it doesn't make a gunshot sound. Anytime I click on the background it does, but when I click on the monster and it goes away, I don't get a sound. So we got to correct that. So changing it to background instead of stage was nice because we don't get the sound when we click on. However, now we don't get the sound when we click on the monster. So let's go and fix that. So we have a function called creating monsters, or create monsters. Okay, over here it says container_MC add child monster. So we're adding a monster movie clip to the container, to this variable called container_MC. which I think we defined all the way up top. Variable container is a movie clip. Okay, and that movie clip receives this, well, we add this child into that movie clip. Okay, so that movie clip is now on the stage, and so what we can do is we can listen to things on it. So I'm going to say container, and if I wanted to, I can go copy paste that other code. So it's this one right here. So as I start to type, I get lazy and I don't want to type anymore. So that's going to be the same code, but instead of the background, instead of listening on the background, we're going to be listening on container underscore MC. So I'm copying that and I'm pasting it over this. So now we're listening for a mouse event that's a click on this container underscore MC, and whenever the game senses that click on that container, it's going to run the shot function. And the shot function, all that does is play the laser sound. So let's resave this and play it again. Again, no sound when I click anytime now. Once I click start, you'll hear the sound. And when I click on the monster, well, if I click, I missed it twice. There we go. There we go. And I missed. Okay, so the 2 times I clicked on it, you heard it, but the time I missed, you didn't hear it. In fact, we should hear it either time. I guess it's like, I don't really know, to be honest with you, because it should be on the background if you missed. I guess what I'm doing is I'm clicking on the monster. I'm clicking on the monster right, I believe what it is. I'm clicking on the monster right when the motion ends. So I'm really not getting it, but also it's in the way of me getting the stage. So there's like a little bit of a, I don't know if I want to call it a glitch, but almost like an overlap of the code. The monster's ending, but yet it's still there. It hasn't actually been removed yet. So you're clicking on the monster, but it can't sense that you clicked on it because it's right at the end of the motion. So I guess if you click on it right at that very instance of the end of its motion, you might not hear the sound. So that's just a little bit of a silly thing. But for the most part, that works. So let's just keep it at that. So let me go back to my actions. So now that I have basically working where you hear the sound when I click on the background or the monster, let me go and add my songs. So to add my songs, what we can do is, underneath where we declare all our variables, let's declare some new variables. And if you remember, the song was called Radioactive. We exported the class as Radioactive with a capital R. So because I know I'm going to want to start and stop this song, I'm going to give it a variable name, Radioactive, and it is a sound variable, as in that's a type, and then we're going to make it a new instance of the class Radioactive. So notice the variable has lowercase, the class has the uppercase. But then to make this thing start and stoppable, we have to do another variable, and I'm going to call it my channel. And the reason why I'm calling it this, just arbitrary, because I want to make sure I know that this isn't just the basic type of sound, this is the channel type sound that you can start and stop. So variable my channel, and I'm going to call it PS, as in play song, as in the song that plays when you're playing the game. So PS for play song, and it's not just a sound, it's a sound channel type variable, and that's equal to a new sound channel, open close parentheses and a semicolon. And then because I want my song to play as soon as the game starts, I could put it in the initialize game function, or I can put it right here, because when you click the start button, all these variables get initialized and any code that's here runs. So I'm just going to put it here. So I'm going to put my channel play song is equal to radioactive, the lowercase one because we're talking about the variable, not the class, dot play, open close parentheses with a semicolon. Let's save this and then play it. Oopsie, I guess I got an error. Semicolon before sound channel. Alright, let me take a look at this. Silly me. I think what it is, I capitalized N. Okay, so new sound channel. Let's save that again. Yay, that's all it was. Okay, so no sound, no song playing until I click start. I'm waking up Hope that wasn't too loud for you, but you can see the song is working. I only have five. No, sorry. I changed it before. Let me change it again. Let me make this only 5 monsters, and let me make this back to 1,000. I don't want to waste time on you. Let me save that again. Okay, so I'm going to lose the game, and you're going to see what happens with the song. I'm waking up a lot of stuff going on there. Yes, I know. So what's happening is when the game replays, the song never stopped and it just starts playing again. So it's kind of like if you ever heard "Row, row, row your boat," one person starts singing it, and after you finish the first verse, another person starts singing it while the first person continues to sing it, and you get like overlapping, overlapping, overlapping. So that's what we're having happen here. So that's kind of crazy. So somewhere we want to stop the play song. So a good place to do that would be when we win and when we lose. So let's go down here to over here. We're saying if the score is greater than or equal to monsters in game, stop the monster maker. And then the other thing we're going to do is my channel, the play song dot stop. Now we're going to do that when we win. We damn well better do it when we lose. And why not just copy it, because it's going to be the same thing. Paste that in under stopping the monsters. So the monsters stop, then the song stops. Okay, so let's save that and play it. I'm waking up. And you see how the song stopped as soon as I lost. Okay, if I replay now and click start, the song starts again. It's only one instance of the song playing, not overlapping. I'm waking up. Okay, so obviously that's what we wanted. But now we want to take it a little further. So we got our song, our main song starting and stopping as we play the game and win and lose. But now we also have those other two songs, the Spider-Man song and the SpongeBob song. So I'm going to go back up here, and I'm not going to copy this because I don't want Spider-Man and SpongeBob to play when the game starts. But I do have to declare the variables for them. So let me copy this and go underneath this radioactive one, paste that in, and instead of radioactive, I'm going to say Spider-Man. And then I'm going to copy that here, paste this here, and the only difference between the variable and the class is the capital S. So the class gets the capital S. And then over here, my channel, instead of play song, well, let's call Spider-Man the win song. Okay, and then we're going to copy this, and we're going to have a lose song. And that's going to be SpongeBob. I don't know that it goes very well with win and lose, but it was just sound files I had on my computer, so I decided to do it. So over here we're going to say SpongeBob. That's our new variable. And the class is also going to be SpongeBob, but again with a capital S. And over here, instead of win song for the sound channel, it's going to be the losing song sound channel. So now that we have all that set up, we can go and get those songs to play. Now if you remember, to get the initialized song, the radioactive song, to stop. Over here, when we won the game, we said stop the song, right? Stop the play song. So you know what we can do? Because I don't like to type, I'm going to copy this because that's what makes the song play. Go down to increase score. After it stops the first song, I want it to play the second song. Now this is where we win the game. So this is the win song, and the win song was Spider-Man. And since we used a variable name, so it's going to be lowercase s. And then I'm going to copy this and go after we stop the play song. And here's where we're decreasing energy, so obviously that's losing. So we're going to call that the lose variable, so the lose song. And if you remember, that was, look, I didn't even type the S because I don't like to type. And that's SpongeBob. So we should have them all working. But also, well, let's leave it like that for now. Because, you know, sometimes I like to have things act stupid and then show you how to fix the silly thing. So let's play it. I'm waking up.
Are y'all ready, kids? Are y'all ready, kids? I can't hear you.
Okay, so a lot going on there. Let's play it again and win. At least I'll try to win. I'm waking up.
Are y'all ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you.
Aye, aye, Captain!
Okay, so got a little error there. For some reason, SpongeBob's playing again. And also, if you hadn't noticed, when I click replay and start, it keeps playing, and we don't want that. So what we have to do is first figure out why SpongeBob is playing twice. Okay, so I figured out why SpongeBob's song is playing twice. Right here on the timer, I have one monster being created every second. And what happens is another monster is created before the monster that's causing me to lose is totally gone away. So then, after I get my energy is equal to 1, I actually get hit with another monster and it goes down to 0. So really what's happening is like I'm losing twice. So it goes over here to the decrease energy and it plays the song again because it goes through this code again. And it's just sort of like a glitch because the monster that's hit me to make me lose has not yet been removed from the screen and the next one's already been created. I guess it all depends upon the motion that you made and how long it takes for it to finish. So how could we fix that? Well, one thing I can do is just make this longer. So if I go back to, and when I tested this out, I didn't have that problem because I had this on 2000. But because I wanted it to play faster, I shrunk it, I made it shorter just so you guys wouldn't have to wait. And I wasted more time because I had an error, but maybe this is a good thing because you might have the same problem and now I already know what it is. So at 2000, it doesn't happen. I'm waking up.
Are y'all ready, kids?
Because the next monster wasn't coming out and I had already lost the game and already ran the code and the next monster didn't even come out yet. But if you say, hey, I don't really like it coming out that slow, I want them to come out faster. Well, a different way you can fix it is this. On the decrease energy function, we did say less than or equal to 1. And that's kind of like a good convention in case something happens where it goes below that. But we probably could change that and just say equal to 1. However, you have to realize in code, almost all code, when you say equal to, that's really an assignment variable or an assignment equal sign, meaning over here you're assigning the cursor X to the mouse X. Over here you're assigning energy to energy underscore MC total frames. A lot of other things over here you're assigning. So what do you do when you really want to say equal to when one equal sign means assigning? Well, you use two equal signs. And now that says if energy is equal to 1 instead of let energy be 1. So it's a difference between assigning it something and testing it. So this is a test now. So you'll see even with the 1000 on the timer, you'll see that this doesn't play SpongeBob twice.
I'm waking up. Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you.
But of course, now that we fixed that problem, we still have SpongeBob playing when we go to replay the game. So, where does that replay game happen? Well, here we have a function called replay game. Over here it says go to and stop on the intro. So before we go to and stop anywhere, if we stop the songs from playing, now one song that can be playing is my channel, the Win song, which is Spider-Man. So we want to say stop, open close parentheses with a semicolon. And the other one could be the Lose song, which of course is SpongeBob, for me at least, just messing around. We want to stop that and then go to the intro. So now, if I'm not mistaken, the whole game should be working. So let me save this one more time and play it.
I'm waking up.
And you see Spider-Man, the radioactive stopped when the windscreen came out and Spider-Man started to play. But as soon as I clicked the replay button, Spider-Man song stopped. Now no song is playing. Till I click the start button, radioactive will play again.
I'm waking up.
And now SpongeBob.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye!
Until I kick the replay button and SpongeBob stops. So there you have the whole finished game with a sound when you shoot, a song to play the game, a song or a sound or, I guess a song, Spider-Man theme song when you win, SpongeBob when you lose. Obviously, if you have some sort of like Halo theme or Star Wars theme, you could play some sort of sound file that you get that illustrates Star Wars good stuff winning, and then something Star Wars bad when you lose, and then just have a general Star Wars theme song playing while you're playing the game. And also find a Star Wars type of laser blast for one of their guns in their game and incorporate that into your game, and then you'll have a really nice game, not only visually and playable, whatever, but also sounding good too. Thank you very much.